And welcome to the build-up from RamsTV. Another international break is right around the corner, but first, Derby County have another chance to claim that first home win of the season. The Rams hosting Southampton today and facing the Saints for the first time in nearly 7 years. There was drama the last time they met in an FA Cup third round replay back in 2019. After a 2-2 draw at Pride Park, it finished 2-2 at St Mary's 2 after the Rams fought back from 2-0 down through Harry Wilson and Martin Waghorn before taking victory in the shootout. You have to go back 13 years for the last league meeting between these sides and a full 24 years for Derby's last win over Southampton here at Pride Park. It certainly has been a while. It's been a while since Derby got a victory over anyone here at home. They were forced to settle for a point on Tuesday night against Charlton, thanks to Matt Clarke's late header.
I suppose a mix of emotions. Obviously, we were frustrated with parts of the game, but pleased on the response second half, and that we managed to keep going and sort of get a point at the end of the day. So yeah, so I think mixture of emotions, but yeah, we're looking forward, eager to press on.
Not a bad night for you personally. Man of the match for Sky, man of the match for RamsTV, first goal of the campaign as well. Pleased to get off the mark? Yeah,
I think it's been a little bit frustrating because we put a lot of work and a lot of time into the set pieces, and we haven't really seen the best of that yet. And we saw probably at the end of last year what a tool it is. So yeah, it was pleasing that we had a chance to put a few corners in, and with the delivery we've got, we always fancy ourselves.
I always talk to the forwards about the need for them to get that first goal of the season and just settle down. Is there any anxiety from defenders about getting that first one of the campaign?
Me personally, yeah. I think we've sat here a lot of times talking about maybe the want for more goals, and that's still there. You know, I want to affect I want to have an effect in the opposition's box. I feel like I attack the ball well. And I want the result of that to be output of goals. So yeah, it's something that I'm conscious of, and hopefully I can. I've got one now, and hopefully can add to it.
Been catching up with a lot of the new faces of late. Your situation is a little bit different, of course, but this is the first time you've signed a contract at Derby, knowing that you're going to be here beyond, I guess, the next 9 months. So has things felt any different for you this time around?
Not day to day. I think your mindset is always you're always sort of bought into the next day, the next training session, the next game. So I think sort of you have your mindset of that. I suppose probably in the summer a little bit. Yeah, you feel a little bit more permanent. You can plan probably more off the field than on the field, but you can plan a little bit further forward. So yeah, as I said, I definitely feel probably a little bit more permanent than I have in previous sort of loan spells. You've
played at both ends of the country, of course. Do you find it easy to put down roots and settle quite quickly?
Yeah, I think that's part of being a footballer, really. I think you can make home anywhere very quickly, and you have to, because that's just the nature of it. So yeah, as I say, I've always found that easy here, and yeah, I suppose being a little bit more permanent is nice for me and my family.
I know there are some players that can't perform to their best until they know things are settled off the pitch, but clearly for you that's not an issue.
No, I think when you get on the pitch, when the whistle goes, it's a game of football. You have to do your job and execute, and I suppose I'm thankful that I've always been able to put whatever's going on off the pitch with COVID, I don't know, whatever issues you have, there's loads of issues that could happen. I've always been able to sort of put that to one side and try and do my job to the best of my ability.
One more game to come before the international break, and it's a tricky one with Southampton coming to Pride Park. What do you expect from them, one of the relegated sides?
It'd be a tough game, but I think, as cliche as it sounds, it's about what we do. You know, we're desperate to get that win at home, and yeah, we'll go in and attack the game, and we believe if we execute what we want to do and perform to the level that we know we can, we'll be all right, and we'll get that win.
That's Derby defender Matt Clarke, who spent 4 years at Portsmouth but never faced Southampton in a South Coast derby. Well, today's visitors have bounced between the Championship and the Premier League over the last couple of years, and they're looking for another quick return to the top flight this season. It hasn't been the smoothest start for a side with automatic promotion as the aim. Tuesday's come-from-behind win at Sheffield United was just their second of the season, though they have only lost twice as well. 32-year-old Will Still was appointed manager in the summer after impressing over in France, and there have been plenty of changes to the squad that were relegated with just 12 points last season. Well, Leicester are the only one of the 3 relegated sides to feature in the top half after 8 games of this new championship season. Middlesbrough and Coventry have been the most impressive so far, while Charlton have also caught the eye coming up from League One. Southampton would probably move into the top half with a win today, though they're only 3 points better off than Derby at this stage, who will hope to avoid going into the international break in the bottom 3. Yeah, still early days in this championship campaign, and early days for this new-look Derby County squad, led by head coach John Eustace.
Yeah, boys are really good. Actually, it was great today. There's a real buzz about the place. You know, obviously, to come back from a goal behind again on Tuesday and show great intent to go and win the game. I think we finished it really positively and quite rightly so. And the boys coming today, raring to go.
I got a vibe of disappointment from them that they'd not won on Tuesday. Is that encouraging to hear?
I think there's a number of games we could say that about this year. Do you know what I mean? Already we're 8 games in and we could have easily had 4 or 5 more points. So listen, there's lots of positives to take out of it. The season up to now, and we're going to improve, we're going to get better, and you know, the boys are in a really good place.
I just want to ask about Dion Sanderson. You mentioned after the game on Tuesday he's been carrying a bit of a knock. How's he getting on?
Yeah, he's doing fine. Listen, Dion's been playing through a bit of a knee injury, which is difficult for him, but you know, his performances I think have been excellent. He hasn't trained today, so it's something we'll have to monitor, see if he's available for tomorrow, but I think up to now I think Dion's got better and better, and you know, I'm really pleased with him.
You talked on Tuesday about a few of your players having to adapt to the demands of the Championship. Is that purely the physical side of it, or is there a little bit more nuance to what they're having to change?
I think it's everything, yeah. You know, you're coming from the leagues which are a little bit slower, not as physical. So, you know, it's all the all-round balance of coming into one of the toughest leagues in Europe and getting to grips with it. I think the lads are doing really well. You know, they're progressing, they're maturing nicely. So, you know, there's going to be a lot more to come from the boys, I'm sure.
I know everyone is frustrated by that wait for the first home win, no one more so than you, but it is only 1 defeat in 6, and that's why you're trying to change the style of football as well. How encouraged are you that you are still picking up points?
I'm encouraged that we're picking points. So of course we want to win games, absolutely, and we've been in a couple of positions at home and away where we could have done that. You know, we have to learn from that. The group are getting fitter, stronger, and they're understanding the chemistry between each player and on their movements and where they want the ball and all that kind of stuff. So listen, I'm really encouraged with the start. You know, it hasn't been as fluid as we want, but you know, we've been in some great positions. We could have got 3 or 4 more points, and you know, I think 1 win would have took us to mid-table, and you know, we're growing and building. So you know, it's certainly not all doom and gloom. You know, we're really pleased with the progress we've made up to now. Of course, we wanted a couple more points, but you know, that's going to come throughout the season. What
sort of challenge does Southampton pose the visitors on Saturday?
Lots of quality, Championship and Premiership experience. You know, they've got a really expensive squad. We know they're going to come and dominate the ball and you know, show everyone what a good footballing team they are, which they are. They're a good team, but you know, it's a real good challenge for us, and we can't wait for the challenge.
We talked this time last week, about how the promoted teams have done well coming up and the strength of the division. Does the fact that Southampton have come down, Ipswich have come down and haven't dominated from the off show how difficult this league is as well?
Yeah, definitely, and I think, you know, you talk about the teams that have come up, you know, have spent millions and millions of pounds, you know, and the teams coming down got huge budgets as well. You know, the teams that have been stabilised in the Championship have also spent. So, you know, it's a really difficult league, and that's why it's important. You know, you're going to have your highs and your lows, and just keep level-headed, keep together, and over the course of the season, you end up where you should end up. So, you know, we're work in progress. I've been happy with the effort of the group. Most importantly, it's been fantastic, and you know, we're only going to get better.
There is Derby boss John Eustace. Well, last night in the Championship, the so-called Hollywood Derby was about as exciting as an episode of Antiques Roadshow. Wrexham and Birmingham sharing the spoils. 3 lunchtime games today, including Coventry's trip to Hillsborough. It's been another week of crisis for Sheffield Wednesday. Everyone else in action at 3, with leaders Middlesbrough making the long trip to Portsmouth. And here at Pride Park Stadium, it is Derby County against Southampton. And it's a game you can watch on RamsTV everywhere outside the UK. So get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. Matchday Live with you from 2:30. Sean Barker back alongside. We'll see you then. Goodbye.